Okay. Okay. I was telling John last night, this is the reason. This is what keeps people from doing things like this, is because you feel like you're going to look stupid. And I know I do. I do not like not knowing what I'm doing, but we are going to figure it out by doing it. So let me know if any of you were nice enough to come back, if anyone is here. Yes. Okay. I see one comment. Thank you. I had not restricted anything last time. So if you're here, please, oh, thank you. A thumbs up. My first thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So let's start all over again. Good morning. I did just mention on Instagram that I'm live, but the reason I didn't do it ahead of time, like last night, is because of this. I don't know what's going on. It might be the C word. I don't know. I haven't taken any tests, but I think this is part of traveling. I think when you stay home, you stay well. And as soon as you start going to concerts and shopping out of town and going on airplanes, this may be what happens. Okay, great. Oh my goodness. I have missed you guys so much. Being sick is not a break to me at all because, like we're going to talk about today, I'm living my dream life and I love talking to you guys. I love everything. I like getting dressed up for my videos. I like shopping for my videos. I like filming my videos. I like it all. So I have missed you like crazy. Aw. Hey, Shan. I've been a subscriber forever, but I rarely comment. I'm 29 and absolutely adore you and your lifestyle. Thank you so much. Girl, I'm here for you. It is so hard for me. You know, when you go through different YouTube courses and any of these like videos I watch and seminars, they want you to pick your target audience. And the more you narrow down, the more unique you are. That's why you'll see a lot of times women over 50, women with oily skin, things like that. It's very hard for me to narrow down because I feel like, and it's the worst thing you can do, I want to talk to all women because I really have a place in my heart for everyone. I really do. And so glad you're here very much. I always think to myself, I wish I could just all the things that I'm trying to tell Brooke, and she thinks I know nothing. I hope that there is someone out there that, I'm not your mom. And so you can take my advice a little bit differently. I know when you're 22, 23, 24, I think when you get around 25 is when I started thinking, okay, my parents pretty much know what they're talking about. Then you start listening a little bit more. So, oh, thank you. Thank you, JR. Really, I know I wouldn't have done this, definitely not 5 years ago, definitely probably not 3 years ago. Going live is a little scary, like I said, just because of this stuff, not knowing what you're doing. And John had to go. He just got a new truck. That man had had the same truck since 2017, and his was about to hit 100,000 miles. And so he traded it in on a new one just the same. And he went to go get his windows tinted, not blacked out or anything, but just to match the rest of the windows. So he's not here, but I told him, I said, I think I can handle the YouTube. Patreon is complicated. I failed miserably yesterday, but we will try again. It's a little bit different over there. But I wanted to see you girls today. Hello from Greece. Oh, hey, Drew. So good to see you guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kenny Lynn. Isn't this like, was it Romper Room where they called out everybody's name that they could see out there? That's what it reminds me of. Okay, I don't really have a, presentation or whole video ready for you today because I really want this to be a transactional thing here with the comments and everything. And I want to get to know you better. I really do. Because I just feel like it would benefit me in so many different ways. But I thought we would start out with how you feel about the life that you're living right now, because I think we're all at different stages. And I do not think I'm any better than anyone on here. I have just figured a few things out, and you have figured a few things out that you can tell me about. I would have never started the carnivore diet if someone hadn't told me about it. I would have never started. This just popped in my head. I would have never tried Kevin Murphy shampoo and conditioner if one of you hadn't told me about it, which I have been loving, loving. And by the way, I will, after this video goes live, I'll try to list all the information below, including this really cute, I'm going to stand up and show you, this really cute Walmart dress that I just got. Is this not under $20? So cute. Look at the back. And then I just have it on with my Time and True flip-flops, which I have worn to death. I've been going under a little bit of transition here where okay, I know you guys know what I mean, but I feel like so many of my clothes aren't doing it for me. I want to get back to my more feminine vibe. And I love a black dress. Remember when that's all I wore? It's not that I don't like, oh gosh, light blue, purple, red, all that stuff too, but there's just something about a black dress. So look forward to many black dresses coming up. Matter of fact, when John and I were coming back from Atlanta, you guys, I was so excited to get back and just make videos. I could have like flown here like Superman. I mean, I was just bounding with energy and inspiration. And then this happened. I was so thankful that I did this video last week because it went downhill after that. So I am going through a little, I mean, you could call it a transition. You could call it, I call it a level up. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about is when you hear the words, I mean, this is just like a new revelation to me. Like say you're scrolling on YouTube and you see videos on reinventing your life, leveling up, going through a new transition, however you want to put it. A lot of times we don't have to be unhappy with our lives. And I think that most of us here are very, very happy with our lives. We love our husband. We love our children. We love being women. We are confident. We're just loving life. We're happy girls. We're lucky girls. But the beauty of life is you keep on getting to perfect it. And I love that. Just little things you get to perfect even more, like your health, like your marriage. You can have the best marriage. But I will tell you, John and I have, in the last couple of months, there is just something new happening. I don't know what it is. It's like, and I'm not going to get emotional. It's like we're falling in love all over again. And I don't know what really sparked it. And I noticed it for a month or so. And I even said, why are you being so nice to me? Because, you know, I've always told you, John's the kindest man in the world, such a good husband, but he's grumpy. And we talked about it a lot in Atlanta, and we talked about it a lot. Matter of fact, one of my favorite reasons to go to the pool, you know, we walk over to our pool is for some reason when John and I are at the pool, or even if Brooke and Will went with us, I think time before last, there's just such a connection there. I don't know what it is. We really get into some deep talks, and we did get into some deep talks in Atlanta. So even though we have this great marriage, I love him, he loves me, we love our family, everything's great, you can always enhance something in your life, just like your health. Remember last year I went through the stage of walking and I felt good. My weight's good. I'm feeling good, but I knew that was something I wanted to do. So in all areas of life, we can just do those little tweaks to enhance it. And then if you're not living your best life and you want to like bring up a topic today, oh yeah, okay. Elaine Bine said French women don't feel guilty spending on themselves. In UK, many women do. Great. I being a woman, oh my gosh, isn't it the best? It is like the best thing ever. I have, even as a little girl, I've always thought, gosh, I'm so glad I'm not a guy. So glad I'm not a boy. So glad I get to have babies. And even, like when you're dating, and I never had a date where my date didn't pay. Even in high school, I never even thought about paying. Even in like junior high, if we were meeting at the movies, they would pay. And I always thought, ooh, that would be terrible. And then I remember when John was working and I got to be home with my babies and cook and all the stuff that I had dreamed of doing. I thought, I told him this, thank you so much for taking care of us. And I thought, how would that feel to be responsible for feeding all of us and paying our house payment and, buying our cars and all of that stuff? So I have just always, always loved being a woman. And part of that is self-care and, just being who you are. Robin, Messenger Stafford, you've been with me so long. Thank you. Yes. Amen to the kids. I mean, I know. I even tell Brooke, I understand you're not ready to receive because I do know that if someone's not ready to hear what you have to say, it's pointless. You can even turn them away if you do that. Like I have so many friends that I would like to say, "Oh, I wish you would try this," but if they're just talking and wanting to talk it out and they're really not asking for advice, sometimes it's kind of pointless. You have to be ready, and so I always want you guys to ask me. I don't want to just constantly, be shoving things down your throat. But okay, I told you I was going to let you know who some of the people I watch and some of the people that have inspired me, who they are, so that you can watch their videos too. And I know I've mentioned him before because I told you the story about the orange. And this is Wayne Dyer. And you'll notice that I tell you about a lot of older videos and older people, and I think they're very wise. I think a lot of times the newer people, a lot of them are really good, but you'll even hear them mention these people. And these are people that have really inspired me. And if you'll remember, I told you the story about the orange. And I think he was on stage. If I can remember correctly, I was in a grocery store parking lot. I was listening on my phone. I pulled up and I watched it on my phone because I listen to YouTube videos on my phone. And it seems like he was in Hawaii at a conference, but he tells this story over and over again. So if you Google Wayne Dyer orange, you'll see it. And he was like, he had the orange and he was asking the audience, I think he even asked a child, if I squeeze this orange, what comes out? Orange juice. If I squeeze it, is grapefruit juice going to come out? He goes on and on. And he said, what comes out of you when someone squeezes you? And I loved that. It really made me think because by squeezing us, it means getting triggered or getting under pressure or like I always think of, I do not like this commercial. And I don't know what it's even for. I think it might even be for therapy or something, but it's that woman that comes in the kitchen and her kids are in the kitchen and she says, she looks stressed out and everything. And I understand. And she says, you're late, da 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 da, da 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 da. And she's just going off on her kids. She's just frazzled. And I just think, oh no, don't be that way. You know what I mean? Like, I always had this thing of not having any stress, any confrontations or anything before my kids went to school. I wanted the school day to be great. We could talk about it together when we got home. And so that's a form of being squeezed. Like when you're under pressure, but you've still got responsibilities. And I think that's what, self-help, self-development, personal development, inner work, therapy, all of these things. You can call it whatever you want to. Talking to your pastor, talking to your mom, talking to me, talking to other people here. That's what it's all about. We need to fix these things. Sorry, I'm scared if I silence that, it's going to mess up my live. So let me know if you know about the dinging when a text comes through. So I want us to work on what comes out when we get squeezed, because I've had some yucky stuff come out, some anger and stuff before, or frustration, or not understanding, not patience. I want to work on what's inside of me so that when I get squeezed, I have patience. I don't react. I consider someone else's feelings. I think to myself, like I've always said, he's just a man, all those things. So I was watching another Wayne Dyer video, and it was focus on yourself. And it said again and again and again. And I think that's just so important. We need to focus on ourselves and improving our lives again and again and again. And you'll have waves of it where, you're into it and then you're kind of like, oh, you've got to focus on some other things in your life. But come back to it and realize that even if you are a happy girl, you're a lucky girl, you're living this life that you dreamed of, we can still, it's so much fun to tweak it even more and refine it. Even your style, your makeup, your hair, all of these things. So the first one he said is by focusing on yourself again and again and again, you get to shed layers of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs, whether you know it or not, we all have them. I'm not the kind of girl who gets so-and-so, or I'm too old to get into this, and this, or I'm too old to figure out how to work a live video. We have these limiting beliefs that are in our head. That is what holds all of us back. I mean, from being a child, you've probably heard me say, I've never been athletic. Well, maybe I could have been athletic, or you know what I'm talking about. We get into these limiting beliefs, and I have shed a lot of those. I see Danette's on here. Okay. Please, if you're out there, someone tell me, you can even email me how to get rid of the dinging during a live video. And will that affect my volume on here? I am using my laptop because I thought it did pretty good and it makes it easy. And I'm all about doing things with the least amount of resistance, because you'll do it more. And then you can tune it up. You can fine tune it. Okay, so shed layers of limiting beliefs. Think about, what are those things? What are those limiting beliefs that you have? You can't make more money because of the economy, or you can't find a good man because there's none out there. I'm trying to think of things that I hear. You can't have a good relationship with your children because their political beliefs are different. I'm trying to just think of some things here. Okay. Another way to work on yourself again and again and again, and another reason why to do that, is because you can lead by example. And this was really profound to me. He said, for confidence, life's purpose, and fulfillment. I want to be a good example for you guys. I want to be a good example for Brooke. I want to be a good example for John. I want him to, because he doesn't have as much of a growth mindset as much as I do. Like, I've always looked at life as weird. It's just like, I've never thought of the end. I mean, of course I've thought I know I'm going to die, but I've never thought of the end, like when I'm going to be done with who I am. Whereas some people will say, this is who I am, and this is who I'm going to be. And pretty much I'm fine with that. And that is great. I mean, I don't want to change him, but even if he doesn't look at it that way, I have seen him grow. And he has even told me that the way he has seen me grow makes him happy. And even if he hasn't said it, I can tell that I've inspired him in some different ways. And I'm sure his sisters could probably tell you that for sure. Okay. So the next one is, and then I want to start reading some of your comments and questions and us to talk a little bit. Okay. If you work on yourself, focus on yourself again and again and again, you will unlock your true potential. Your true potential. That is profound. I know I have not unlocked my true potential. I have told my mom and dad and John and everyone so much. I feel like I have felt like this for years, that I'm on the edge of something big. And I've even told you how I've thought, what am I scared of? What am I scared of? And I really haven't unlocked it yet. Like, what is it? I'm on the precipice of something huge, something big in my life, and I don't know what it is. And I already have huge, big things in my life, but I always feel like there's something else. There's just this one thing I can tweak. There's this one open door that needs to be open in my mind, and something wonderful is going to happen. And I never give up on that. Even though I celebrate where I am now, I celebrate you guys, I celebrate everything else that I'm so, so grateful for. And I think that's the beauty of it, is if you're grateful and you're so aware of what you have in this moment, then looking forward to that next big unlocked thing is so much fun. It's not like, it's kind of like when you were little. Do you remember how much we looked forward to Christmas? I can remember playing in the street. We had this game, Foursquare, and we would take chalk and do the four squares, and you would bounce the ball. I can't even remember air ball, all that stuff. And I remember it was right before Christmas break. And this must have been when I was young. And we played so much in the neighborhood. And I remember us each talking about what we wanted for Christmas, like what we were looking forward to and what we were going to do on Christmas break and all that stuff. Well, we were happy in the moment, and looking forward to that was so much fun. I always remember looking forward to Christmas so much. It was so magical. I've told you about when Santa Claus left me a typewriter and he typed me a note. Oh my gosh, beyond. So look forward to unlocking your true potential. There's just so much out there. You never know. There could be one person out there that you talk to and you change their life. There could be someone watching you, a family member, a friend that you are inspiring so much. It's just wonderful. Life is wonderful. Okay, and the last one he said, our greatest obstacle is doubt and limiting beliefs. Another person I watch a lot is Myron Golden. And I think the first person that sent me him, he talks a lot about biblical money beliefs. He talks even about how the devil uses food. My friend Danette sent me a short. He does a lot of shorts, so you'll come across him. He does a lot of entrepreneurial. He's big time. He does a lot of big seminars. Like, I would love to go to one of his conferences. And oh gosh, I've already lost my thought. Okay, biggest obstacle is doubt. And I was watching one of his videos one day, and he said the first sin with in the Garden of Eden was that feeling of doubt and scarcity and all of those feelings he put in Eve. That was another thing he said about the food, him using food against us. And, they had that whole garden, they had all those trees they could eat off of. And he put that doubt and that mindset in her. And then here we go. And there is always that doubt. Like even, I knew John was leaving this morning and I thought, am I going to be able to do that live video again? But that I knew that was just something in my mind trying to hold me back. Or I was thinking of all the reasons. Should I even come on with this raspy voice? I don't want people to feel sorry for me. Or is it rude? All those things. So don't let doubt get in your mind and that mindset ruin things for you. And remember to work on yourself again and again and again. And everybody has a different route of working on yourself. And what I've noticed too is, like, say you have all these areas in your life that are going, well for you. Let's just say you're really happy and everything's going so well. You'll notice that you'll pick a few at a time. Usually I'll have 2 or 3 things going, and then I'll kind of go on to another little. It could even be like something you're forced to work on, like your hair. Like I have been forced to work on, but I'm happy to say I've got so much new hair, you guys. It's like, it's mostly right here. It's mostly about this long. And so I have a bunch, but I'm glad I didn't cut it all off. Glad I didn't give up, all that stuff. So now I can kind of shift my focus to something else. So I've kind of been I've ordered so many new dresses and outfits that I want to show you. I've ordered a bunch of good stuff from Anthropologie, Abercrombie, Walmart, Revolve. So that'll be coming up soon. So we kind of go from thing to thing to thing. Like this year, I'm still walking, but I'm not being obsessive. I'm working a lot on my feminine energy. I would say that's the biggest one. Okay. Yay, Danette's here. Oh, okay, Janet. It's good just to be. That is the truth. Just to be. Where is it? Bloom where you're planted. Just be the best you can be right where you are in life. Sometimes if we look forward to or we get obsessed with something too much, like in the future, we don't enjoy the now. So I'm a really, really live in the moment. My mind it's hard for me to even concentrate too far in the future. Oh, thank you, Danette. Girls, hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know all the things to say. I've heard people say, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Maxine, I love that name, Maxine. That is one of those names I just love. I understand by what you mean by something big is going to happen. I can tell you just keep being open to it and doing what you're doing in your dear, sweet way, because I believe God wills present. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Nancy Johnson, what practices do you do to shed limiting beliefs, Lisa? Woo, okay. Things like, what am I scared of? Like when I watch videos or read books and they'll say, do that thing you're scared of. And I'll try to just do a lot of like thinking, what could I be doing that I'm not doing? And what am I scared of? And a lot of it, I'm going to be so open, vulnerable, and authentic with you guys right now, is I feel like I have it so good with you and with YouTube and with my career. Not going to get upset, but I don't want to mess it up. And so it makes me afraid sometimes to talk about new things. It makes me afraid to be my truest self. And it's not about being judged. It's about hurting people's feelings. It's about, I don't want to discourage anyone. I don't want to do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do anything wrong. And so a lot of times that holds me back. And I just have to keep on going. And I know you're with me and God's with me. And I just pray every day. Like sometimes I'll look back at videos and I'm like, oh, why did I say that? Or I said that too many times, or that could be turning somebody off. But I've just got to be confident that I'm doing the right thing. So that's something I really do. I do this and I try to recommend it. I try to examine myself as a parent. What am I doing? I think all moms have guilt. Did I do this right? Should I have done that? Should I be doing this? Should I be, like, okay, for instance, a lot of my friends, we're all moms and we all have either teens or up to my kids are 20 and 24. Like, how much do you think you should not do what you want to do what they want to do? Or should they see you doing what you want to do and working and self-care to prepare them for life, to show them a good example, all of those things. And there's just such that balance. You know what I mean? Like they need to see you putting yourself as a priority. I've never felt like as a mom that I'm like the little mom down here with the bigger circle husband and the bigger circle mom or daughter and son. And all I'm here for is to be this thing to them. I've always felt like I should be as big or almost bigger because they need me. They need me so bad. And if I'm depleted and I'm, you know, down and I'm not feeling my best, I can't be that for all of them. And I see a lot of women, they think that they need to be the constant giver. They can't, like this used to upset me, and this might be so superficial. But do you remember back in the days, you could, if you're young, you could be in this stage right now. How long have I been talking? Oh my gosh, 32 minutes. Okay. You could be in this stage, or if you're my age or whatever, just think of the mom groups. Do you remember the moms that would come into dance, swimming lessons, soccer practice, all the things that we did, birthday parties? Something that would always upset me is the mom that would stroll in. She'd pull up with the biggest, baddest car. She'd stroll in with the biggest, baddest stroller, because when you're at that point, you notice these things. And her child would be dressed to the T. I mean, the biggest, most expensive monogrammed bow with everything. And then the mom would look exhausted, exhausted. No makeup, dirty hair, and just like she had put every minute, every dollar, every bit of energy into, which is good, your child, your baby, but she would look so beat down. And I would just think, wow, you know, sh I don't know. I don't know how to even describe how I felt, but it inspired me to take care of myself because I didn't want to feel that way. You know what I mean? It's not even how you look, but it made me feel, like I needed to help her. Like, here, let me take your baby, one of those things, which wasn't that the best. I love that when Brooke was small. Oh my gosh, her first year of dance. I was big, big pregnant. Then I had a new baby. And then, there was, okay, you know how many years of dance there are. Remember that time when somebody would say, "Here, let me take your baby so you could chase your daggone 3-year-old?" That's how I love that. You love those people, you never forget them. But I guess my point is work on yourself and don't think it's selfish. Realize that as women and feminine energy, we need to feel full. And the more full you feel, you just have it bursting and you want to be there for everyone. You don't have that burden of that masculine energy where you have to do everything and all that stuff. And you're just worn out. You're not taking care of yourself. And I'm not saying you have to paint your fingernails and curl your hair. I was never wearing anything that special. I might not have had full makeup on, but I had a uniform. I've told you about my mommy uniforms. I would find a skirt, a dress, and shoes and buy them in every color. And that would be my mommy uniform. I could get ready. I would let Brooke destroy my drawers and my closet so I could get ready real quick. I had a quick makeup routine and I wanted to just, I've always wanted to be the total package. And that's what I always work on. So, okay, let me see how you're taking that message because some people will turn that around that I'm being mean to those girls, and I'm not. I'm not. Okay, I don't have any of those feelings. I just want to help them be their best. Okay, do you ever get into a negative spiral, Stacy M? What are some things you do to stay positive? I feel like this is menopause. Yes, yes, girl. I was in a negative spiral for about, it was years. It wasn't too negative. I would snap out of it. And this is how. Like, do you ever even have those days where you're like, what's wrong with me? It's like, yeah, where's that dark cloud coming from? What is wrong with me? My mom will call and I was just like, I got the funk. I got the can't help it. I don't know what's wrong with me. And, you know, as a mama does, she'll say, it's probably because of so and so and so and so. And she'll help me, like take out the parts and understand what it could be. It could be the craziest, most trivial thing. And John's good at helping me too. People that know you really well and know the little things will tell you. But during menopause, the bad thing is the symptoms and the side effects of menopause are so multifaceted. It's psychological, it's physical, it's there's so much to it. And there's so much more help than there's ever been. It takes a while. You'll even misdiagnose a lot of the things. And you'll even try to make yourself accept things that could be helped. And that's why I was thinking the other day, somebody I was watching said, if you're complaining or you're blaming the same thing that you have been blaming for years, something's wrong. Because everybody's going to have struggles, but we need to work them out, work them through so that we don't use those as a story of why you can't do something. And I think menopause can be one of those things, and you're not consciously blaming it. You're like, we're troubleshooting, like my skin was breaking out. I was like, what the heck? I could barely even put on my clothes or my bra without having red streaks across my skin. None of my body lotions were working anymore. So I'm going to the dermatologist. I'm having to get new lotions. I mean, the craziest little things, happen during menopause. And I had never really studied the power of hormones, kind of like I had never really studied the power of what you eat until I had to deal with it. And that is why I encourage you not to be carnivore, not to be me, not to be anybody else, but to not give up. Don't look back 10 years later and think, I wish I would have tried HRT, or I wish I would have tried this, or I'm telling you, my mind has opened like crazy here, like I never would have thought it. I've got a couple of friends that are trying acupuncture. Now, if you'd have told me about acupuncture a year ago, I would have never, I mean, I wouldn't have judged you or anything, but I would have thought, you won't catch me at acupuncture. But I mean, I've even opened my mind to things like that. I have opened my mind to so many new things. And that's more of the beauty of working on yourself again and again and again, because I really feel like say you're 50 and you want the wisdom of being 53 or 55 or 60. Even if you got it, but you didn't go through the processes, you wouldn't know what to do with it. You know, every day we just learn more and more things. So if you're to get back to your point, really just don't give up until you realize what it is that's making you in a funk. And it can be the craziest thing, like, let me think of something so trivial that will put me in a funk. I mean, not to mention if our kids aren't happy. If our kids aren't happy, we're not happy. And I just think that's genetic. I don't think there's anything we can do about that. It can be an insult. I'm trying to think of something that's not that's not in my life, because a lot of times a comment will get me down, even if it shouldn't. I know what it can be. Not getting something accomplished that you wanted to during the day. That will put me in a funk. Like if I really wanted to take Will to get his hair cut, or go to lunch with John and the kids. If something like that happens, that will get me down. Okay, I hope I answered you to some degree. Let's see, Makeup Lover 68. You explained my BFF at the time to a T. She owned her own business, was a millionaire by the time she was 30, Mercedes, most expensive stroller in the 90s, but she spent no time on herself. I know. I mean, I get it. I do get it, because you probably think you're doing the right thing, and you are doing what you think is the most important. But even, what is that thing? Even on the airplane, it gets me every time they say it. Put your mask on first. I mean, it would be like if you're trying to, so you can help other people. It would be like if you're trying to go help someone that's drowning, but yet you can't swim, or you don't have a life preserver. Especially when you understand feminine energy, you understand that a little bit more, because as women, what we bring to the table comes from a full cup. It really does. And that's why my heart does go out to divorced moms that have 3 children, and they're dealing with so much. They're having to go to work. And so they're having to tap into that masculine energy. And then they're coming home and they're stressed out. They barely have any time. So I do get it. And I want to help you. I'm learning more and more and more about that. And I hope to help you with more and more and more of that. So, okay. T Hunter, hi Lisa, nice surprise. I'm listening to you while at work. Thank you. You know what my goal is? My goal is to do this at 5:00 when my video usually posted. Monday Night Live with Lisa, 5:00, Midlife Magic. But today I was scared. I was scared I wouldn't make it. Let's see. Yeah, pour into your own cup. It does make everything better. It does. And it doesn't require makeup. It's numero uno is knowing your true self, knowing what does fill your cup, knowing that. And then I really think it's important to get your little fast routine down. Make this little routine as a mom that is quick, simple, I used to use the same makeup every day. That was back in my Mary Kay heyday. I had that cream makeup. I remember I went through a phase. I remember it. I got a crazy memory, but I remember when I was taking Brooke to dance, it was the summer, and back then I could not find a mascara that didn't run. And I remember going with no eye makeup like that whole summer. Find some good updos. A big game changer for me has been washing my hair at night and finding hairstyles that require, like, if you can do bangs and have a low maintenance hairstyle, I'm jealous. But bangs are so high maintenance. And getting that mom uniform, getting it down, finding your favorite flip-flops, I'm telling you. Oh, hey, Eileen. Okay, let me see if I can find. Looks matter, no matter what the positivity movement says. Pour into your own cup, ladies. It makes everything better. You know what I always think of? I thought of this one day. A friend of mine, we were talking about our daughters. And, you know, in today's world, it is drilled into their heads that looks don't matter, that your weight doesn't matter. It does matter because of your health, that your looks don't matter, that all of this is, so vain, it doesn't matter. And I was telling a friend that one of the first signs that your cat is sick, because cats will not let you know that they're hurting for a long time. For those of you cat lovers out there, they will, like if they have a urinary tract infection, you'll notice it when they pee on a rug, when they start acting weird, or when they're not grooming themselves. When your dog or cat is unwell, you will notice all of a sudden their hair looks all crazy. And it looks like they haven't, you can't believe how quick they start looking different because they haven't been grooming themselves. And I was like, even in nature, animals take care of themselves. The mama bear, any animal takes care of themselves so that they can take care of their babies. And it's in our instincts to take care of ourselves to a certain degree. Like I always say, it doesn't mean eyelashes. It doesn't mean painted nails. It just means making yourself, your health, and your welfare a priority. Yeah, your health reflects that. Yes, I agree. Like I can read people. I can look at a man or a woman and tell a lot about them and their level of happiness. And it has nothing to do with money. I was thinking that the other day. I want to learn more. This is something I want to learn more about. So if you know of any coaches, any classes, any videos, I think that feminine energy is such a big dynamic within women too. Have you noticed if you have your feminine energy going on and you're going with the flow, you're not judging, you're not being in your head too much, you're just happy, you're smiling, other women connect to you so much more. And then you'll notice that the women that you being happy, it pisses them off. You can see it. So I'm curious how we can use the power of feminine energy to help break down that barrier and say, girl, let me help you. What can I do? Can I hold your baby? Can I help you in some way to take those burdens off of you so that you will be light and happy and smiling, all of those things? Because as women, I feel like we need to do that. I don't notice it quite as much in men because I don't have that, I guess, connection. But I do notice it in women. I can look at a woman beside me in traffic and I can just tell she's not happy. Something bad's going on or she's stressed out and I just want to help her. And I'll even like if I go through McDonald's every day to get my Diet Coke and my lunch most of the time. I love their happiness. Like when they know me, and I just love that interaction. I'm like, I love happy people. I think that sometimes, I love happy people. I love nice women. I love that support. Why can't we just share that so much? You know what I mean? And I do think that working on yourself again and again and again helps with that. Okay. Let's see. Somebody asked me a good question. Yes. And you're not going to like what I'm about to say, but it is a matter of fact. Looking good for your husband, and it's what his idea of looking good, and it's probably how you looked when he fell in love with you, is so important. It's so important. Looks matter to men. And you could ask them right now, does it matter to you how I look? They're going to tell you, no, I love you anyway. But in their subconscious, in their makeup, it's who they are. Looks matter. Looks matter more to men than to women. Men fall in love quicker than women because we're busy, we're busy doing the list. And it matters. And it's kind of like I'll tell you guys, John doesn't like red lipstick. He's not going to leave me if I wear red lipstick. He's not going to tell me he hates it. He's not going to be mad. But I do that. I'm not going to do something that he doesn't like on purpose. And he gives the best compliments. I mean, he'll break me down in his own way. He'll come upstairs to hand me something. Oh, I know what day it was. It was the day I had on that Chanel bright pink lipstick. He said, what do you say? That's a different lipstick, and it's just his thoughts like coming straight out of his mouth. And I started laughing and I said, is it kind of like the red? He said, no, I mean, it's interesting, so I know he doesn't like that. And like men love it when you do stuff for them, when you show them they matter, when you show them what they think matters, their opinion matters. It's just, oh, that's a deep subject. We'll do that video for sure. Cause make it not a game, because it's not a game. It's more serious than that. Make it important. Make it important and see what happens. You will be amazed. You will be amazed what happens if you have and it doesn't have to be man and woman. I'm talking feminine energy, masculine energy. It can be within the same sex, but everyone has an energy. And you're not in it all the time. Especially women, we get to flow. We get to flow in and out. We use masculine energy to do things like setting up this live, but then I get to be flowy with you guys. But it's amazing. Like, okay, say if you thought, I'm not going to just sit back and not ask him to take out, I'm going to use a cliche example, to take out the trash because he just won't do it. I'm just going to do it anyway. Girls, that's one of the worst things you can do. Let the trash pile up and then he'll take it out. And then tell him, thank you so much for taking out the trash. I was just so busy doing this, and this. I mean, there's just such little things you can do that makes a big difference. Those little things will compound. I mean, in days, in weeks. I had gotten off the feminine path, you guys. And I didn't know it until I was on another sidewalk and I was looking over thinking, what happened? What was I thinking? And I know a lot of it is because I was trying to succeed at things that needed more masculine energy. Therefore, my feminine energy was kind of going down. And then John was reacting to that feminine energy that was kind of unlike me. And then I was reacting to that. And then before you know it, there you are. And you're kind of like I've even told him before, I know you love me, but I can tell sometimes I'm getting on his damn nerves. You know what I mean? Oh, I told myself I wasn't going to say that so much. I said it too much last time. You know what I mean, and I know you do. I don't like that feeling. I want him to love me. I want him to like me. I want him to love looking at me. I want him to love being with me. I want all those things. I want the whole shebang. I want bliss. I want it all. Another thing I've been working on is my relationship with God. I'm saved. I'm going to heaven. But why not learn more, do more, be more? Something that has helped me so much is that daggone TV series. What is it? The Chosen? What a work of art. That guy that plays Jesus, I could cry thinking about that. There will never be another as good as him. So what I keep coming back to, and I guess that's good because that is my core message. You don't have to be sad to work on yourself. And it's so much fun. It's so rewarding. Okay, let me see. Let me talk to you even more. Okay. That is the truth. You can tell who the strong women are. I always say, okay, they're the ones building one another up instead of tearing each other down. I always say this. Don't be the pit bull. People think, oh, these pit bulls and these. My parents have a Dutch shepherd who is like this. I used to be the only one that could go around him, and now I can't. It's fear. It's anxiety. It's insecurity. When you see the fierce dog who looks like he is a badass, who looks like he is just the biggest, baddest dog you've ever seen, and he is barking and he is just wanting to bite everybody, tear everybody up. He's not the strongest dog. He's not. He's the most unbalanced, insecure, may have some issues, probably was abused dog. When you see the golden retriever, the mutt, the dog, we have a golden retriever in this neighborhood, you guys. I will video him the next time they go by. He carries his own leash. They walk by, he walks like this, and he's got his own leash in his mouth, and he looks back and he smiles at her, and she's got another dog she's got on a leash. He is the embodiment of happy, stable, secure. He's not worried about a thing in the world. This is the person you want to be. You don't want to be that woman telling the story of how you told someone off at the nail salon and you Instagram about it. Then you you repeat the story, you repeat the story, you repeat the story. I will tell you where I did this the other day, and I was so mad at myself for doing this. I apologized to John, and he was like looking at me like, okay, because this is a lot of voice. By Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I had like no voice. I could not order a Diet Coke, period. Could not do it. So I was having to go into the pickup or the app order line spot and order a Diet Coke. So I went right up to my local McDonald's, pulled in the spot, ordered it on my app, put in the little lane that I'm in, and it says, "We're working on your order." And I'm thinking, "Oh, I can't wait to get that Diet Coke." And I see some guy pulls up beside me. And the people come out, they bring his order. Then I see them pulling people up. They're bringing their order. And I am feeling rough this day. I do not want to get out. I had on, it might have been, I don't know if I had on makeup or not. Most days I did put on makeup just to make myself feel better. I see this young guy coming out. And so I get out of the car, I go in there and I go up to the counter. And she says, "Hey," just sweet as she could be because they see me coming through almost every day. Hold on, let me cough real quick. Sorry. Let me get a sip. Okay. And she says, "Hey," I said, "I ordered a large Diet Coke." I said, "I'm in the curbside service." And she looks at that guy and she says, "I thought I told you to take out a large Diet Coke." And he said, right in front of me, so loud, "Someone needs me to walk a Diet Coke out to the parking lot." And I was like, oh my, I constantly think to myself, I can't believe, like, I get disappointed at how people act in their workplace because, it's different now. It just is. Do you guys remember when you were a waitress, the things you would have never done or said? So I try not to be that way, but I let it get me. I let it like get me a little bit. I went back to the car. I came home and I told John about it. And right when I was getting the words out, I was like, why did I repeat that? There was no point in me repeating that story. There was no point in me letting it bother me. When things do bother you, let it die. Let it die. Nobody else, you don't want to relive it again. You don't want to get that zip again. And if you do, that's a good way to know that you might be addicted to that feeling. And I think a lot of people are, and they don't even know it. And I probably have been there. I've been addicted to telling you guys about the hater comment. Remember when I used to do those videos and I would make a whole video about this thing, somebody's been mean to me. That was not the right thing to do. That was disrespectful to you, and I don't want to do it. So I've worked on it, worked on it, worked on it. And so the best thing you can do is to get over it and be that positive person for the next woman. How long have oh my God, we've been on here over an hour. Be the golden retriever. I want to be the mutt that is so happy, that is so well adjusted that anyone can pet it. You can take it to the dog park. Anyone can take care of it while you're out of town. I want to be that dog. And I don't want to be the pit bull. I don't want to be the boss bitch. I like being a badass. I like being a badass in my own way. I feel like my most badass self is when I'm happy and feeling it. When I'm feeling that energy, you guys, that energy that just, when you're doing something you love so much and you're just so happy in life, that energy that just comes out in you and you play that song. Tell me what your favorite song is to play when you're feeling yourself and you're feeling happy and you love who you are and you love your life. One of my favorites is, this is going to show my age, Magic Carpet Ride. That's one of my favorites. A lot of times I play that song on the way home from my parents because I'm just feeling so filled up. I'm feeling so blessed. I'm feeling so happy. And I'll play that song and jam out the whole way home. And that's the person I want to be all the time. So a lot of times, like when I get a comment, I think to myself, like, that's not the golden retriever. You know what I mean? Like, something probably happened like, a lot of people say it's not the pit bull, it's the people that own them and, stuff like that. Or it could be something in their past, or, oh, I know you've seen those. Okay, when I go on Instagram, it's cat video, cat video, cat video, cat video because of what I watch so much. And you've seen those videos where they rescue a cat. And I mean, that cat, they have to wear gloves at first to even get that cat out of the crate. And then they show it after time, where the cat just wants to be loved. And then at the end, that cat is just purring and they so loving. Sometimes I think that's what people can be. They're scared and they're hurt and they're mad and they're stressed out. And even if you reach your hand out to them with a smile, sometimes they'll bite you or they'll scratch you. But we have to keep on doing it. We have to keep on little bit by little bit. Sometimes somebody new, this happened probably a month ago. There's this new guy at McDonald's and I pulled up and it was a new guy. And I said, hey, and I said, are you new? And he said, and he's looking at me like, yeah. And I said, well, it's nice to meet you. I said, I come through here a lot, and so now it's like he had a little bit of a guard up, like, who is this crazy woman? But it's been fun to kind of just crack him open just a little bit with kindness. And like now, he's happy to see me. I'm happy to see him. And it's a bright spot. So, okay, girls, let me see if I can read. Oh gosh, I told you there are videos out there why women are mean to other women. And that was like a big discovery adventure for me because I thought I was doing something. So I wanted to quit doing it. There's a lot of like biological things that are there in our DNA. And God made us perfect. And I do think we're all there's a perfect person in here, but we have to keep stripping away and working and trying to be more like him. But I think that there are things within us that are like in our subconscious and in our DNA or our makeup or whoever we are, our nature versus nurture, all those different things. And so it's easy for like these instincts to happen within women against other women. And we might have to like decode ourselves a little bit, not to feel like every woman is wanting your husband to look at him. Or I remember those feelings like, in like high school was the worst because I had my first big love was a high school sweetheart. And he was a piece of work because not only was he insanely jealous, but he was a cheater. He was a cheater and he was jealous, which I learned about that later. And I always felt like any pretty girl that came around, I was never mean to anyone, but it made me feel inferior and sad. And wow, what a terrible way to live. I'm so glad. See, that's what made me bounce back. And then when I found my first husband and married him, then I went so far to the other direction. I was not good. It was not good. We'll get into that later. You talk about some masculine energy. That was vicious. And I was very unhappy in both of my big first two loves. And then John is the love of my life. And I've told you this, for any of you, we'll wrap up with this, because another thing I want to help girls with is heartbreak. All ages. Heartbreak, divorce, feeling like you're not going to find the one. Girls, we love everyone differently. We love everyone differently. And you don't have to stop loving one to love another, because it's so different. You can't even compare. Like, John's been married before too, and I'll ask him first thing some things about his first wife, and we laughed at this. It's like we neither one of us feel like we were married. We feel like it was just a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Because it's such a different thing than we are. So that helped me a lot, and I feel like that helps other women a lot. And um, another thing that always helped me, if you're in heartbreak and you feel like you'll never be happy without that person, this is one of the things I thought about. I was in the car and I looked next. I was probably crying when I got off work. I was going through my divorce, and everywhere I looked, people were laughing. I think that I was in a turning lane, and I remember looking beside me this way, and there was a couple that looked happy. And then I think I went to the mall. That figures, doesn't it? I went to the mall when I was unhappy a lot. And I saw all these happy people, and I thought, look at all these damn people unhappy without him. And I thought, there is no reason that I can't be happy without him. So let that be in your mind. You can. You can. Okay, dogs, cats, McDonald's workers. Yes. Women survive by marriage for 2,000 years. That's why they are overprotective of losing their mate. It's in our DNA. Yes. Yes, because it was normal for the younger women to be the strongest, it's I remember asking my friend Leah about the whole I felt kind of weird about the whole tribe word, like your vibe's your tribe. This was years ago because I don't know enough about the Bible. I'm learning, and I'm always scared if I say a word, it's gonna be disrespectful to God, and so I asked her, I said, "Is are the word tribe or tribal or anything, is that?" She said, "No, even in the Bible, they talk about tribes and stuff." So that made me feel better, but I do think it's an ancestral thing, all these survival, things that we have. And so there's good things too. I think there's good things that older women, I have a strong need to help young girls. That's probably instinctual so that I could help that next person love those babies with all they can and get on with the next man and all that kind of stuff. So, okay. Oh, I'm a natural. Thank you. I feel like YouTube comes easy to me because I love it. I love you guys. And I could have never done this like 10 years ago when I was ashamed of the things that make me me. But it's all it's a beautiful process. It really is. And it's all of these things are so ageless. And what bothers me a lot is thinking that there are women out there that are like, okay, my mom is 72, or I think she's getting ready to turn 73. She grows every day. That woman is such a model of strength and femininity. She got a new kitten they adopted. His name is Joey. And she'll send me pictures like where she's cleaning out the shed and Joey's hopped in the bucket or whatever. Pictures of enjoying life. You know what I mean? Like the simple things, like your animals, your garden. Their tomatoes, flowers, everything is beautiful. Their bluebird house with the baby bluebirds. I'll call her, I'll say, "What you doing?" "Oh, just sitting outside with Camille, her dog, and Joey. You should see him climb this tree. He goes all the way out." And, just her happiness. What if 10 years ago she got in a funk and decided it wasn't worth doing these small little things that bring you joy or learning more and more about yourself? I mean, she's the one that told me about Julia Christina. I mean, you just never quit growing. And I think that's probably Oh my gosh. I've told you guys before that okay, a part of it was my mom had me when she was 19. So think about when I was like young. I have major visions of going in the surf shops, shopping for clothes. So that was probably when I was in junior high, which was 7th, 8th, and ninth grade. So that's probably when I was 12, 13, 14. I can remember walking in the different stores we would go to, oh, hey, Nene. Hey, baby. That's some feminine energy right there. She ain't nothing but sweetness and love and happiness. Oh, she's the best. But I can remember all the guys everywhere we went, every grocery store, every butcher. Remember when they used to weigh your produce? Everybody loved my mama. And she is and was beautiful. I remember her wearing dresses, her lipstick, her long hair. I remember people telling her she looked like Bewitched because that was like popular back then. Sandals, just so feminine and so happy. I just think of her smiling. And I think that's what it was, is her feminine energy and her happiness and her love of being a wife, being a mama. She loves to cook. She loves the yard. I remember her outside bathing the dogs with the garden hose and doing fun stuff with us and all of that stuff. I think that's what always made her so beautiful to everyone. And when I say flirting, I don't mean like, hey, baby, but just when you have that happy feminine energy and you're always growing and you are feeling positive about the next day and you're wanting to help people, it's a vibe. And that's why, latest things, law of attraction, your vibrations, put it out in the universe. There's nothing new under the sun. This is all manifesting is biblical. Have that want in your heart. Do all the right things to get you there, and you will manifest. You will manifest the life of your dreams. Okay, goodness. Found your channel because of Invisalign. One of the best things I've ever done. That's one of remember, okay, look at my journey. Look at me when I first started YouTube. Look at my journey of how I even tweaked little things like my teeth. And I haven't been able to wear my Invisalign because I've been having I'll get in a coughing spell at night and I'll have to, take cough medicine and those sugar-free Ludens. And so I haven't been able to wear my Invisalign and I hate it. I hate it because I like the way that feels. I like that comfort of the Invisalign. Okay, girls, this was so much fun. And I will let you go. I will read through all of these for the next one and I will add the links. But it's 11:20. My cleaning girls are going to be here soon. I need to go get ready for them and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Okay. See, this is something I don't even know where. Oh, end stream. Here it is.